day throughout the next several days. We'll see how long this goes. Our next guest says Mitch McConnell wants a fast trial, not a fair one. Democratic Senator Mazie Hirono of Hawaii is joining us. She's a member of both the Judiciary and the Armed Services Committees. Senator, welcome. In just a few hours, the debate over the rules proposed by Leader McConnell will begin. It's expected to be rather fiery. But McConnell has previously said he has the support of all of the Republican senators, at least as far as this vote on round one, meaning the rules are likely to pass. Senator Schumer says Democrats will fight it. Realistically, what options does your party have, at least now?
Our option is continue to offer either an amendments to the McConnell process, and also during the trial, the House managers will be able to propose some motions. And so there will be votes. Any time that either side calls for witnesses, there will be votes. So that's what we're going to do, and we can be the loyal opposition to the end. But the good thing, Wolf, is that this is a trial without witnesses or without the appropriate documents. Who ever heard of such a thing? And this is why the American people, they are on our side and wanting to have a fair trial.
One of the departures from the Clinton trial some 21 years ago is that the evidence from the House investigation will not be automatically admitted. It will now require a vote. Are you concerned that by not subpoenaing witnesses or documents, the House of Representatives may not have the strongest case here, that some of this evidence actually will be dismissed?
Every time I hear Mitch McConnell say that they're following the Clinton playbook, I just want to say, give me a break. This is another departure, massive departures, because, of course, during the Clinton impeachment, there had already been a lot of witnesses, a lot of depositions taken, lots of evidence produced, none of which occurred in this instance with President Trump stonewalling every request. So I'm shocked, but, nothing that Mitch McConnell does to speed up this trial and make it harder for the process to be fair surprises me anymore. My expectation is to not even allow what came through on the House side with their impeachment process as part of the record is really, once again, an effort to stonewall this whole process. And Mitch McConnell and the president are on the same page on this. It's a huge cover-up. And, of course, Mitch wouldn't even be bringing this resolution to the floor if he didn't have the caucus, his own caucus behind him. So all of the Republicans who are going to vote for this kind of a truncated, unfair process is pretty much complicit, I'd say, in the cover-up.
Senator Jake Tapper here. The White House announced 8 new members of the president's impeachment team. All of them are House Republicans. Some of them have legal backgrounds, but a source familiar tells CNN these lawmakers will likely mostly serve as surrogates and outside advisors. It seems to a lot of observers that the president is signaling he's going to take this fight directly to the public as his re-election bid looms.
Well, apparently he needs his cheering section. And this is a president who just needs to be adulated at all times. And clearly during the Senate impeachment process, he had his supporters who are very noisy about it. And so he wants them to continue to be noisy on his behalf. But at the same time, I doubt very much that they're going to be focusing on what he actually did. That's what this impeachment trial is all about, that he shook down the president of another country for his own political purposes and used almost $400 million taxpayer money as a bribe. I doubt very much that his House cheerleaders will be focusing on that. They'll be focusing on everything else. So this trial, as far as the president and Mitch McConnell views it, is one of distraction and, if they can, delay.
The Washington Post reports that even if former National Security Advisor John Bolton does testify, the White House and Senate Republicans are working to try to minimize the impact of his testimony, perhaps limiting it to behind closed doors. Of course, that is how testimony was done during the Clinton impeachment trial. Would that be acceptable to you if it did mean you could ultimately hear from one of the key players here?
Well, the rationale for having Bolton testify behind closed doors, I assume, is some kind of executive privilege or I don't know, national security interests. I think that that's another part of their cover-up. Because Bolton has already said certain things, and his assistant, Fiona Hill, has already testified. to the fact that Bolton called this entire scheme a drug deal, and I didn't recall Bolton saying, "Oh, my aide was lying."
And 21 years ago, during the Senate trial, 21 years ago, for Bill Clinton's impeachment, the testimonies were done behind closed doors, videotaped, and then the video excerpts were shown to the members of the Senate. That would be following the Clinton precedent. Would that be acceptable to you?
If we were following the Clinton precedent, there would have been all of this discovery done at the House level, and that's not what's happening at all. So they want to trickle out and limit as much as possible anything that any witness that we want can testify to. So that is their whole modus operandus, is to limit the information that is produced for our consideration as well as to the American public. It's all part of the course with those guys.
Senator Mazie Hirono of Hawaii, aloha. Thank you so much.
Aloha.
And our special coverage continues in just a moment. We expect to see more senators file in as soon as the president's impeachment trial is set to get underway in just a couple of hours. Plus, any minute from now, we're going to hear directly from the House impeachment managers. The 7 of them will bring you their comments live as soon as they begin the news conference.
We made USA